Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopirana Gaurava Jaya Divanagari Jaya Gopirana Gaurava Jaya Divanagari Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajanandana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopirana Balava Jaya Divanagari Jaya Gopirana Balava Jaya Divanagari Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Gachanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Gachanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajanandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Rajanandana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tirhanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Punjabi Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh yeah. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhaktivedanta.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra,
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhaktivedanta.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhaktivedanta.
We'll read a little bit from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And I don't know really where we start, but somewhere. Simply reading for our own purification. Vande Swarad Bhuteham Tam Chaitanyan Yat Prasadata Yavana Sumananyante Krishna Nama Prajalpakaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even unclean Yavanas become perfectly well-bred gentlemen by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Such is the power of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purport. There is a persistent misunderstanding between caste Brahmanas and advanced Vaishnavas or Goswamis, because caste Brahmanas or Smartas are of the opinion that one cannot become a Brahmana unless he changes his body. As we have discussed several times, it's to be understood that by the supreme powerful potency of the Lord, as described by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, everything is possible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is as fully independent as Krishna. Therefore, no one can interfere with his activities. If he wants, by his mercy, he can convert even a Yavana, an unclean follower of non-Vedic principles, into a perfectly well-behaved gentleman. This is actually happening in our propagation of the Krishna consciousness movement. The members of the present Krishna conscious movement were not born in India, nor do they belong to the Vedic culture, but within the short time of 4 or 5 years, they've become such wonderful devotees simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that even in India they're well received as perfectly well-behaved Vaishnavas wherever they go. Although less intelligent men cannot understand it, this is the special power of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, the body of a Krishna-conscious person changes in many ways. Even in the United States, when our devotees chant on the street, American ladies and gentlemen inquire from them whether they're actually Americans, because no one could expect Americans to become such nice devotees all of a sudden. Even Christian priests are greatly surprised that all these boys from Jewish and Christian families have joined this Krishna consciousness movement. Before joining, they never regarded any principle of religion seriously, but now they've become sincere devotees of the Lord. Everywhere people express this astonishment, and we take great pride in the transcendental behavior of our students. Such wonders are possible, however, only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are not ordinary or mundane. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktivedanta. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita-Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Kaisora Lilar Sutrakari Laganan, Jovan Lilar Sutrakari Anukram. I've already given a synopsis of the Kaisora Lila of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now let me enumerate his useful pastimes in chronological order. Vijjasundar Satvesha Shambhogana Nitya Kirtanai Premanami Pradanaischa Gora Divyati Jovane. Exhibiting his scholarship, beauty and fine dress, Lord Chaitanya danced and chanted as he distributed the holy name of the Lord to awaken dormant love of Krishna. Thus, Lord Sri Gaurasundar shone in his useful pastimes. When Nimai was young, his father died. That was kind of unexpected. He was still a boy, so alone with his mother, it was difficult. And he was not an easy person, not at all. One day Nimai says, I want to worship the Ganga. His mother says, yes, yes. One moment, I will bring you everything. I will bring you garland, I will bring you chandan, sandalwood pulp, I will bring you flowers, I will bring you the lamp, I will bring everything. He says, no, I don't want to wait, I want it now. And he just went completely wild. He started beating the floor, then he jumped up, grabbed a stick and smashed everything in the house. Everything was kept in clay pots and bags. It was a house with walls made of mats, chattai houses there in Bengal, and the supplies were hanging. They're hanging off the ground to keep the insects away. He smashed everything, and just destroyed the whole house. Everything. Then he threw himself on the floor and threw a fit, sort of like rah, screaming and banging his fists on the floor. Somehow or other, his mother tolerated it. Somehow or other. And somehow or other, she cooked a meal. How she got it together, nobody knows. But somehow or other, she did. And she didn't say anything. Then, as everything was served out, she said, so, Nimai, this is the last meal because you have destroyed everything in the house. Then he just opened his hand and produced 1 tola of gold. And that's a thumb. A tola means a thumb. Same. Opens his hand, tola of gold. And so she said, where does he get this? How does he do this? But somehow or other, he did. So he was not what you call your average kid, and she was alone with this boy. Then sometimes he would fall unconscious on the floor, on the ground, just like that. Unconscious. So his mother thought, oh, it's a terrible disease. He has some disease and he falls. So she was very sad. She called the doctor, who was Murari Gupta. So Murari Gupta, he was about 15 years older. So he's a young doctor. But, and he came, he said, oh, I want that disease. I want that disease. Because he knew that Nimai was falling unconscious in ecstasy, remembering Krishna. So in this way, Nimai's youth took place. Already during the time of his father, he was wild, going in the water, swimming underwater, as brahmanas were chanting their Gayatri mantra, standing half in the Ganga. He would swim underwater, pull them by the legs, and they would fall underwater. Yes, he would do. So they were quite upset. They complained to us. One day, Nimai sat on the bank of the river, and then he had his mouth full of water, and the Brahmana came out of the water, and then he just spat all the water on them. What would you think? If someone does that to you. These Brahmanas were quite upset, you can understand that. But it was the Supreme Personality of Godhead who was spitting on them. Oh, Krishna, please spit on me. If any time, yes, please. Isn't it? But the Brahmanas could not understand who he was. So in this way, in his childhood, Nimai was hidden. In his youth, he became a great and proud scholar. And then after he went to Gaya, as he grew up a little bit, he went to Gaya to perform a Shraddha ceremony for his father. Right? There is that Vishnupad Mandir, a place where Lord Vishnu placed his foot on a rock, and the footprint is there. And there's a temple, and they pour milk on the stone, and you can go there. And they do Sraddha also, and this and that. So Nimai went there and he met his spiritual master there, and by the influence of Iswarapuri, he changed, and he became a great devotee immediately. It is said that, of course, Diksha in the Vedic times, so 500 years ago, meant receiving Gayatri. So he received Gayatri. And amongst the Gayatri mantras that Vaishnavas chant, there are various Gayatri mantras, and there is one Gopal Gayatri, dedicated to Gopal. So Nimai was traveling back, and he came in North Bengal, because Gaya is in Bihar. So it is, and it is on the bank of the Falguna River, which grows underground these days. And then Nimai came back from Gaya, so he came to North Bengal. Navadvip is further south, right? So he came by the road into the north. As he came to the north, he came to Kanai Natashala. And Natashala was a place where they would keep manuscripts of various scriptures, because in those days there was no printing press or anything like that, and they had either temples where manuscripts were kept or in a Natashala. And they would, so there was a library basically, Natashala, and it was a Kanai Natashala. So not just any Natashala, it was a Kanai Natashala that meant dedicated to Krishna. So he came to this place, Kanai Natashala, and the Ganga flows there. And he sat down on the bank of the Ganga. And as he sat down on the bank of the Ganga, he was going to chant his Gayatri mantra. So he took out the thread. Where is it? I haven't. Yeah. Took out the thread. And as he's chanting, he chanted the Gopal Gayatri. And suddenly he saw Gopal. There Gopal was. Whole thing, Gopal was there, so you can understand that he was shocked. That if you would suddenly see Gopal, you would also be shocked. So, and then next moment, Gopal disappeared. Just disappeared. So that, then he just went mad. He just had the darshan of Krishna, and then Krishna was gone. Then he went into a mood of separation, looking for Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And in that mood he arrived in Bengal. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And it was just out of control, and no one had ever seen anything. No one had ever seen such intense focus on Krishna. It was overwhelming. So that's where it begins. How Nimai Pandit became Vishwambar, who was in the mood of delivering the entire universe, and who as a Grihastha was living in Navadvip and preaching, and Lord Nityananda joined him there, and there a whole group of devotees assembled who began to understand that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all this was the beginning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifesting himself openly, but not to everyone, but to a limited number of people. Of course, later when he took sannyas, then it still became more obvious. And of course, we see that later Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stays in Jagannath Puri. And it is said that even at the time of his life, there were already temples dedicated to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he was worshipped as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like Srivas Thakur said, one day, the devotees, inspired by Advaita Acharya, went on a Harinam, and Advaita Acharya said, today we will not chant Hare Krishna. No. He said, today we'll chant the name of Gauranga. And the devotees said, no, but will he like that? He may not like that. He doesn't like to be glorified. And he might get upset if we chant his name. Advaita Acharya said, don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll all just chant. It's all right. So they all said, okay. Then Advaita Acharya says, but I will not chant because I chant so loud. My voice is so loud that you would all just get scared if I would start chanting. So I'd better not chant. So then they had to chant. And so they're all chanting. But then they got very ecstatic as they're chanting the name of Gauranga, even more ecstatic than chanting the name of Krishna. And then Advaita Acharya couldn't contain himself anymore. And he started roaring and he composed a song on his own. And he began to chant it very loud, the name of Gauranga. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came back to the residence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they couldn't stop. They were still going and they were laughing and rolling over the floor and in great ecstasy. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is this? What is this? You're supposed to chant the name of Krishna. What are you doing? Vishnu, Vishnu, you're chanting my name. This is not right. Stop this. Vishnu, Vishnu. Right. Then Srivas, he stood there. He raised his hand and held it up against the sun. So Lord Chaitanya said, Srivas, what are you doing? Srivas said, I'm blocking the sun. So that's like, she says, Srivas, how can you block the sun with your hand? How can you block the sun with your hand? Yes, Srivas said, how can I block the sun with my hand? In the same way, how can you cover your divine effulgence? Right? Everyone can see. In this way, the devotees could see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was no longer of the human realm. There was no question. Is he God? Is he not God? It was obvious. It was totally obvious. Yeah. So what is that unique mercy? What is that unique mercy that is there? Well, the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is twofold. Twofold. One side of the mercy is described by Rupa Goswami. Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namna Guratwisa Namaha. Which means that he freely distributed the topmost to the most fallen. Right? That is one aspect of his mercy. So very generously gave the topmost knowledge of bhakti. Right? Not only karma kanda or this or that, no, pure bhakti. And he gave it to the people of Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga everyone is fallen. When Prabhupada wrote this in India, this was in the late 60s. That was a different India. That was another generation. Right? Actually, many of you haven't even seen that India. I saw that India, and that was very different than the India today. Very different. It was completely traditional. People were just really still, young or old, didn't matter. Everyone was just part of a Vedic culture of going to the temples and all these things. There were no motorbikes, Can you imagine? Now India without a motorbike is unthinkable. Everyone has a motorbike, isn't it? It's normal. No scooters, no. Bicycles, cycles, cars. I was in Benares, in 1 hour, maybe 3 cars. Some very rich man comes past in an old ambassador. Right? It was like, And every deafening sound of bicycle bells everywhere, deafening. Yeah, it's like 1,000 bicycle bells at the same time, so loud. That's it. That was your India. And now it is different. Now we have Bollywood. And hey Dada. And, no, all that wasn't there. Everywhere I saw in the evenings, people would gather, right? And for some functions, there were many lecturing platforms, and people would discuss Ramayana, Mahabharata, and such things, or there was some musical recital. And it's like, the ragas, the whole thing. Yes, I used to do it also with tambura. Yes, so all these things were there. In Benares, I stayed in one house, and it was summer. I slept on the roof of the house, get some cool air at night. And then in the middle of the night, very loud, down, 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 om, ding, 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 bling. Some mantras at 3 in the morning. I'm looking at my watch. 3 o'clock. What would you think if they make a lot of noise at 3 o'clock? Huh? You would also go like, huh? Nah, lie back down. Put your pillow on your head, because so much noise. I tried to continue to sleep, but impossible. So then, every morning, at that time, people would go to the Ganga. Where is that India now? No one goes to... That India's gone. Yes. So one aspect of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he's freely distributing everything to everyone. The other aspect of freely distributing the topmost to everyone. The other aspect is that he makes difficult things easy. So he adds that special element that even if it's difficult, he makes it easy. Without him, even easy things are difficult in this age. That's how it is. So, therefore, and because he makes difficult things easy, there's very quick result. There is a book which was written by Rupa Goswami, and it is a book which is a commentary on the Bhagavatam. And it is known as the Lagu Bhagavatamrita. So there is the Brihad Bhagavatamrita from Sanatana Goswami, and the Lagu Bhagavatamrita from Rupa Goswami. So the Brihad means the great Bhagavat Amrita, the great nectar of the Bhagavat. The Lagu means light, right? So that is only a small book. It's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. बहुत 12 वाला मोटा पुस्तक है, लेकिन लागू भागवंतरी तब तो हल्का चीज है ना. So Lagu Bhagavatamrita is easy. And it's interesting also, because Lagu Bhagavatamrita, it describes everything about the different avatars. All the avatars describes in detail, because you have a white Varaha, you have a red Varaha, because Varaha appears at different times. So all these things are a little confusing, and there it's all explained. Then one interesting thing is explained in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, because we know that it is said that Krishna appears in the Dwapara Yuga, and in the 28th Divya Yuga, in the 7th Manvantar, Krishna appears, right? Jamastami. Okay. And then it says, in the Kali Yuga, after Krishna appears, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. Now it said Krishna appears only once in a day of Brahma. There are 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas in a day of Brahma. Krishna appears only once in these 1,000 cycles. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears also only once in the Kali Yuga after. Now it says, in each cycle of 4 yugas, there are the 10 avatars. All the avatars are appearing. So, but then, what happens in those other 999 Kali Yugas when Chaitanya doesn't appear? That's described in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So the question is there also any incarnation there? Yes, there is. Oh, what is that incarnation? Who is that incarnation? So that is an incarnation of Vishnu. Oh, now I have read that all the incarnations are teaching a particular dharma. Like we see that Lord Kapila Dev was giving Sankhya. Then we see that in the Treta Yuga there was Yajna, who was like teaching Yajna, also an incarnation. Then we see in the Dwapara Yuga, we see that worshipping of the Murti became the big thing. So, in our Kali Yuga with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is Kalo Tat Hari Kirtanat. It is Kirtan. What happens in those other 999 yugas? What is that avatar teaching? An avatar from Vishnu. What does he look like? Said he's blackish in form. Okay. So a blackish Vishnu avatar. And what's he teaching? Harinam Sankirtan. No. Yes. No. But I thought only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching Harinam Sankirtan. No. No. Actually, also, he is teaching in the other yugas. Yes, definitely. Jarur. Other yugas also. I'm not only making fun of Indian accent, any accent, because I like language. Yeah, so what to do? I speak many languages and make fun of many accents. So I can also do Australian one. Anyway, not now. We will speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in these other yugas, what happened was that yes, an incarnation of Vishnu is also giving Harinam Sankirtan. But he cannot give Krishna Prem. That he cannot give. Vishnu, everyone in India knows. Do you know the slok? Paritranaya sadhunam. Yes, let me hear. Ek minute.
Paritayana sadhunam vinashaya krajuskutam dharma sanspartanataya sambhavanmi yuge yuge.
Hare Krishna. That was very good. So that verse is very important, because that verse describes what the incarnations of Vishnu are doing. The incarnations of Vishnu, Paritranaya Sadhunam, they Vinasya Saduskritam, Dharma Samstarpanatya. So they appear and they deliver the saintly persons, they annihilate the demons and establish the principles of Dharma. That's what the incarnation does. But they don't give Krishna Prem. That you don't get. Dharma you will get. But not Krishna Prem. That no one can give. Don't we read about Advaita-Acharya? Advaita-Acharya was 53 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's quite something, almost like his grandfather, right? So Advaita Acharya was very old. That's why Advaita Acharya is shown with a white beard. 53 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he was 24, right? So then, at that time, Advaita Acharya was 77. So 77 is old. That's old, that's like grandfather material, walking with cane and sitting old. Yes. So he was very old. But he was the main dancer, Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya was very powerful. Sang very loud. And we see that just before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya is worshipping the Shalagram Shila and with Ganga Jal and Tulsi. So every day has Shaligram, Shila, Ganga Jal, Tulsi. Why? So, well, that's how you do it, isn't it? Shalagram, you have to worship with Ganga Jal and Tulsi. Everybody knows. Yes, that's how it was done. No. Not because of that. One day, Advaita Acharya was reading the Gautamiya Tantra. And in the Gautamiya Tantra, he read that if you offer me just some jal, some Ganga Jal, and a Tulsi leaf, then I have nothing in my possession to give you in return. Therefore, all I can give you is myself. When Advaita Acharya read that, he thought, now I found it. Now I found it. His worship was not worship. No, it was blackmail. He was trying to force the Lord to appear. Said, you must come now. You must. It's written here in scripture. You will not escape me any longer. More jal, more tulsi, more jal, more tulsi. I will make you appear. More jal, more tulsi. More jal, more tulsi. You're forced because you have nothing that you can give in exchange for this. This is the most precious. Ganga Jal and Tulsi. I'll make you appear. In this way, yes, Lord Chaitanya was forced to appear. But still he did not appear. So one day in the house of Srivas there was kirtan every night, and some locals were objecting because at all this noise, no one can sleep all night they're howling. Haribol, Haribol. So much noise, this is too much. Therefore, they decided tomorrow we will cut the house of Srivas, bamboo and chattai walls, and we'll all lift the house and throw it in the river. That will fix him up. Advaita Acharya said, if now he doesn't appear, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then I myself will take the four-armed form and raise my Sudarshan chakra and cut the heads of these atheists. In this way, everyone became afraid. And shortly after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed himself. That he had already appeared, but no one knew, he was hidden. Anyway, so in this way, now, so Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? He's Vishnu himself. So here's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's worshipping the Shaligram Shila, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why is he doing it? To make the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear. You got that one? The Supreme Personality of Godhead worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead to make the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear. Right. Right, mate. Got that, eh? Fair income, you know. Jeez, right? That's really interesting, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead to make Supreme Personality of Godhead appear. I tell you, mate, good on you. See you later. I mean, that's bonkers, mate. It's off the wall, right? That doesn't make sense at all, right? No, it does. Because Lord Vishnu can do, what was it again? Paritanaya sadhanam. Vinasya sadhuskritam. That's what he did. That's what he did. Annihilating a few demons, establishing the principles of religion. But he knew he could not give Krishna prema. Therefore, he wanted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear to give Krishna prema. So that is the unique thing. So we're not the International Society for Revival of Indian Culture. All these things. Yeah. You know what that means? Or should I explain it? It basically means, forgive me, right? Forgive me. Or I didn't listen. And then you pull the ears like this. It means forgive me, right? Everybody knows. So in this way, what can we do? Yes, we didn't listen to the Shastra. We didn't follow. So all ritual and no one knows why. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the ecstasy of love of God. So that he gives. And only he could do. So all these other avatars that appeared in other yugas and also gave Harinam Sankirtan, they couldn't do that. So therefore, it's not the same. So this Kali Yuga is still the unique Kali Yuga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared only 500 years ago. That's only yesterday. It was yesterday. 500 years is nothing. Of course, in Australia, 500 years is a long time. Here, if they have a town, it's 200 years old. They go like so old. It's 200. It's like this place, this house is like 75 years old. It's a really old house, right? They go like, I used to live in a house which was 600 years old. Yeah. And it's like, it still stands, still a good house. It was a bit ulta, but otherwise, still fresh as ever, right? So, that exists, yes. In India, if a place is a few thousand years old, 5,000 years old, yes, no problem, huh? They have so many places like that. 200 years is nothing. Right? So, anyway, what is 500 years? Yesterday. Yeah. It's like your great great grandfather can still remember how his great great grandfather told him all about it. Like that, it's almost still in the family. Yeah, you can still remember the name of your great-great-grandfather who lived at that time. In fact, you could even tell, my great-great-grandfather was there, He had a cup of chai with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Regularly, you drink lots of chai together. Yes. Anyway, so like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore unique. He gives Krishna prem, and only a small endeavor gives great results. And that is why in this age it works. We're chanting Hare Krishna, and everybody knows about themselves and their neighbors that they chant terrible rounds. Right? Everybody knows. Everybody tells me all day long, oh, they come to me, Maharaj, can I speak to you? Oh, yeah, of course, yes. Tell me like, oh, I have difficulty with chanting. I said, oh, really? Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't chant very good rounds. Oh, really? Oh, that's something very unique. I never heard that before. Everybody chants terrible rounds. That's the reality. Who can say he chants very good rounds? But it is said, even if you try a little bit, then you already get the results. Yes. That's why. Now there's that special mercy. You say Hare Krishna and there's all the added mercy. And anyway, there is that verse, Nannam yavati shakti papa nirharane hare tavat kartum avapnuti patakam pataki naraha. And that verse is saying, if you chant the mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha mantra once, you destroy more sins than you can commit in a lifetime. Can you say Hare Krishna? She just destroyed more sins than she could commit in her whole life. Bang. She did it as well. A whole life of sins. Can you do it? Wow. He destroyed a whole life of sins as well. More than that. Are you ready? Yep. Maybe we should do it all together. Hare Krishna. Okay. Very good. Now, if I chant Hare Krishna, right? We're going to do a scientific experiment, right? So we've got cameras here. Kids, you're not sleeping, is it? Wake. If you are, wake up. Oh, yeah, even the baby is not sleeping. All right, there we go. So look very carefully. I'm going to chant Hare Krishna, and now you have to look if there's any change, okay? So this is scientific. Watch very carefully. And somebody who's seen me do this trick before cannot give the answer. Hare Krishna. Did you see any change? You missed it because it went too fast. Okay, I'll do it very slow now. Hare Krishna. Did you see any change? Okay, what's the change? Happy, smiling. What else? My hands went up. Okay. Anything? No. You know what happened? Is that as I'm chanting Hare Krishna, my subtle body, made of mind, intelligence, and false ego, is dissolving. It's dissolving. Hare Krishna. It's dissolving. It disappears. Oh, when the spirit soul comes to the material world, what happens? Spirit soul doesn't like the material world. Spirit soul goes to sleep. And then the mind steals the functions of the soul, which are thinking, feeling, and willing. And suddenly the mind is thinking, feeling, and willing. Oh yes. I think. Are you also thinking? You are thinking. Are you feeling? Do you feel it? I feel it. Do you want it? I want it. A sweet ball. We have to do something about that as soon as possible. Prasadam is soon. I'm gonna do it. This lecture is almost finished. Anyway, Thinking, feeling, and willing are the functions of the soul originally. But here now they are stolen by the mind. And here we are, and the mind is just in this world trying to enjoy. The soul is not involved. The soul is in a dormant state. Right? And what happens is, we chant Hare Krishna, and this mind, material intelligence, and false ego disappears until thinking, feeling, and willing comes directly from the soul. And then we are on the pure spiritual platform. Then we are residents of the spiritual world. Then not only do the hands go up, then the hands, hey, ho ho, hee hee, yeah, you. Then the hands do not just go like this. When you're on the spiritual platform, then you even go like this. You start flying, yes. Like that. That's how it is. So this is actually what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. And therefore, nowhere has ever been such inspired spiritual life. There's been spiritual life all over the world. All over the world. But nowhere with so much inspiration. People have been convinced with the fire of the truth and the sword in the hand. But nowhere with so much joy. Nowhere with so much fun. People have been serious and praying. Don't laugh. Don't smile. This is a no-smile game. Very serious. Nowhere has spiritual life been practiced with so much fun. Nowhere. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift. And that's why the whole world can do it. Otherwise, it's not philosophy that's going to really convince people. Right? A little bit. It helps. But not enough. It's fun. It's fun that really convinces us. All right, that's it for this evening. I thank you very much. Any questions, any comments, and otherwise we'll end here. And then I escape soon. I know, that was too quick. Okay, well, that's good. I'm going home then, yeah.
Maharaj, you mentioned when you chant Hare Krishna, then your subtle body dissolves. What does that mean?
In the spiritual world, you don't have a mind. You don't have separate intelligence. You don't have a false ego. Thinking, feeling, and willing come from the soul directly. That's what it means. This mind you only have in the material world. And it stays with you life after life. Every time you go out of the body, the subtle body also comes out of the body, goes with you. So life after life, same mind. But in the spiritual world, you get rid of it. No more mind. So no more possibility to get mental. Sorry. That's only here. Not bad. This mental stuff is so much time wasted. Gosh, really, it takes forever when we get mental. So it's good if we can avoid being mental. Yes.
And the Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful, despite chanting for so long and pronouncing it clearly and everything. And these other features like our conditioned life, anarthas and way of living is so, there's no match to Hare Krishna mantra. Then why does it actually taste take so long to develop, or why is it not manifest? A taste is so hard to find.
Bahu Jamanakari Arishavana Kirtanam Tutanapai Premadanan. They always say that in Melbourne, as it used to. They always say that one can chant the holy name for many, many births, but even if one commits the 10 offenses in the matter of chanting the holy name, one will not attain the desired success of this chanting, which is... See, you know it. That's it. That's the answer. But even then, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. One day, you suddenly realize, wow. I was in the mid-80s with a devotee who had been around for a long time, right? Senior devotee, and he seemed not very Krishna conscious. And I thought, well, this person is not good for me. He will not bring me a lot of good inspiration. So I felt not so happy in that association, actually. And I was like, I wanted to go somewhere else with devotees who were stronger. And now, that devotee has become so advanced, so ecstatic, right? It's just like, every time I see it, I'm amazed. And just wait a while. Just wait a while. When you have 40 years in the Hare Krishna movement, how old will you be then?
Over 60.
Huh?
I'll be 65 and over, 65 something.
65 something. So that's not so bad. That's about my age. I'm 66, turning 67. Yeah. It's nice after so many years. It is totally different. Then there's so much wealth. Krishna is everywhere. You know so many things, even without having studied so much. You heard so many things from here and there, from everywhere. Yeah? So many lectures, so much. All your memories are Krishna. Krishna conscious. See, every year you're a year longer with the devotees. It's another batch of Krishna conscious memories. So at one point, like now, I have only Krishna conscious memories, and if I go back to the pre-Krishna conscious memories, that's like, whew, that's grey memories, right? Far away. I really think, how was it again? Because I can hardly remember it. So, just wait a while and you'll see. Okay, one last question and then we're going to have prasadam. Is the prasadam ready? I hope so. No answer. That's good. Not ready? Oh, ready. Let them get things ready then. Let them start. Or if make plates and things. Whoever is doing that. Any last question? No? Okay, good. Then I'll start saying goodbye. Because I'm leaving Melbourne tomorrow for a while. And what can I say? You have a good program in Melbourne. There's lots of things going on. It's not everywhere like that, right? It's somehow or other in Melbourne you get a lot of opportunity and so many activities, so many programs, a lot of facility. So that's your good fortune. Now the only thing is, what are we doing with it? So of course we would like you to do something a little more with all that, and take it a step further. Krishna consciousness. Prahlad was 5, and he got serious about being a devotee. And others, they wait till they're 50 and they're still not serious. So one can do it when you're young. It's a matter of making that decision. I'm going to be a devotee for my life. And then you do it. Simple as that. And that is our good fortune. Yeah. So in this way, we... And whether we start late or early, if you start late, there's also an advantage, because then you bring all the wisdom of your life with you. And you don't have to make all those foolish mistakes that young people make. You know what I mean? You've already done that before. So don't have to do that anymore. So it doesn't matter when Krishna consciousness comes. Everyone is at an advantage. Everyone. When you're young, you have lots of energy. When you're old, you're always tired. Old people are always tired. Yeah. Oh, that's like too much. Anyway, so I come twice a year, if you haven't noticed it. I mean, it's amazing. You know, some people say, well, Maharaj, he comes at least once a year. And then I'm thinking, wow, you know, I'm coming for all these years, twice a year, all this trouble, and they don't even notice it, you know. Yeah, that's really like, gosh, you know. It's like, it's so far. So I'm telling you now, you know, I'm coming twice a year, okay? And I'm coming in May. And I hope, but if it's freezing cold, I won't stay that long. Because Melbourne in May, I mean, I know what it's like. You come from up north to Melbourne, and it's like 4 degrees, something like this, you know, or colder. But, you know, if you give me a good heater and ginger tea and so on, warm socks and hats and all that stuff, then I might stay in May. So, looking forward to seeing you again. Yeah, you're Nepali or something, right? You no? Where are you from? Punjab, same thing. Polar bears, you know. I have this one Punjabi disciple, and he's skinny, and cold meant nothing to him. Finally, he took his shirt off, and he had so much hair. He was wearing like a woolen homegrown sweater. Punjabi. They're meant for cold weather. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. See you soon.